Glad you can join us again, guys. Today what we're going to do, let's see, there's a few things. I'm going to start off by having a look at the seat. Now the seat, there's two things. One, the bracket. I don't like the bracket, so I might try and modify it or shaping it a bit better. But the other thing, the seat has never looked straight. There's something, looks crooked on it. So I've put a piece of string from the headstock right down to the back wheel here on the mudguard. I'm using that as a guide. So we'll just go and have a look at that. Right, so you can see I've got the string there, acting as a guide. Now, to me, the seat wants, the front bracket hinge wants to move that way just about 3mm. I think it's one of those things where you measure things, and when you put it on measured it doesn't look right, because there's that many other things which tend to be out a little bit. In this bike frame and that, nothing's straight on it. It's I've tried putting it as best I can, but rather than build a new frame, then we're going to have to stick with it. So that's one thing. I think that seat has got to go that way on the mountain, about 3mm. We'll start off with that, and we'll have a look at it while we're off, see if we can shape it a little bit better. Right, so I've took the seat off, and let's see, I think just looking at it there you can see that wants to move that way a little bit, but the bracket is quite rough. It doesn't even match. This one at that side goes right to the back, and at this side that goes only to there. So let's see, what else is there? This isn't straight at the bottom here, it's at an angle. The top edge is quite straight and the holes seem to line up pretty well. So first thing, we'll take the bracket off and have a look at it. I'll also see if we've got a bit of wriggle room on here while we're taking it apart, to see whether we can put it on straight. No, at the minute we haven't. So we'll be able to elongate this hole down here to move that across a little bit. There's always something which I could always make a new one later, but I'm anxious to try and get the bike finished. Right, so put that away. So I measured the height of these holes and the match either side. It didn't measure front to back. Yeah, they're about the same. You can see it's pretty square there. So what I think I'll do is we'll clean it up. We can elongate this hole a little bit so we can move the bracket across. You can actually see where it's lying there. That hole's going across that way and it should have went straight up. But I think what I'll do is I'll cut that side to try and match this, and at this end I've never liked this just square. Now, got a nut and bolt there. What I may do, this stainless washer, is maybe try to follow the profile of that. Just leave it out a little bit, about 2mm out there. Follow that round. I'm not sure. Let's see if I've got a decent pen. But maybe arc it round here. Try drawing it. Arc it up to follow the radius of this, and then along here, instead of taking it just across, maybe try to take a little bit of a curve in there. Something like that. Anyway, I'll mark it up and then get the grinder out and we'll start grinding some of this away. So I've marked this out. The hole here, so I'm going to elongate it there by filing it. The rest of it, I've decided this end I'm going to make it circular or semicircle, and then from there just a straight line up to here, and that's going to be just a little bit bigger than the diameter of the washers. If I just put the washer in there, you can see there. So it'll be nice, just that little bit extra, but following the profile. But then I'm going to sweep up, and here I'm going to follow this line here, curve it round. So hopefully it'll look a little bit more, you know, a bit more decorative than the angular bracket which was on. Okay, so first of all I'll try filing this hole out. So I've finished grinding it, and I've just went round and dressed the edges up with the file, but that's looking a lot better. I decided to round that off. So we'll put it on the bike. I'll put a couple of washers on here to try and spread the weight a little bit. A few more. We will get this all painted when we do final assembly. While I'm painting the bike. And also nuts and bolts, so all be stainless steel where possible. Bolts a bit stiff, must have had a clout. I've got a little bit of movement there now, so I can get in exactly the right place. Right, we'll get this on the bike then. Right, so just going to bolt it in place. Now these are always awkward to get on because of the springs, because they're supposed to bend forward a little bit. So what I'm going to try doing is bolting into one first and then putting the pivot pin in the front. We'll see if it works. Now on these I've got, well, because the holes in these springs are quite big, and if you just put a bolt through, you see there's loads of room. So I've got these little spaces which are going to go in there, and we're going to have a bolt and a washer on top. So that goes into there with the spacer. Seeing if you're still in view. I haven't gone out of view, and then we'll put that through there. Now we'll try and get the nut underneath. So you've got a nut. Right, that's one on. Right, just hang on a second while I go and put the other one on. Right, so I've got both the springs on. Just need to get this pin through here. Then we've got a washer on either side. That's it. Another washer and a nut on that side. Right, that's it. I wouldn't say I'm that heavy, but they are bottoming out, those springs. So I might try to get some stronger springs if I can. But we'll see how it goes, what ride's like on the road. I'll just bring you in so you can have a look at that now. So you can see around here, it's a lot neater with it being rounded. And if we look at the top there, the gap here, it's a lot nicer than just a box. I know it did match the straight line on the tank there, but I think it looks a lot better there. Be nicer when we get painted. Right, I'm quite happy with what I've getting done today. Seat's all done, so I'm happy with that as well. I was going to get on and do a couple of other jobs, but when you're doing something like this, you tend to look at it and scratch your head for quite a long time while you're trying to think of how to do things. I was going to have a look at the rear brake reservoir, because I wasn't happy about the little bracket on there, and I've changed my mind 3 times on how to do it, but I'm leaving it for now. So I think the front wheel spacers is going to be the next job which I'm going to get on with. Anyhow, thanks for watching again everyone, and stay safe, and I'll see you again next time.